Good morning. Welcome to a very early ride. Had my alarm set this morning for 6:15. Up. I actually slept downstairs so I didn't disturb anyone. Had all my cycling gear laid out, got dressed, quick coffee, packed my bag, out the door. So today I give myself a challenge, which is to do a previous route where I think it was 52 miles to Buxton, and when I got home I thought, wait a minute, I've still got 20-something% left in the range extender, and I had around 65% left in the main battery. And one thing you do notice on the flats is the extra weight of the range extender. So today's challenge is to do the whole ride just on the Scott Addict, the small 236 watt-hour battery. So as you look now, I'm in no assist. So I'm only using assist uphill. I just had an uphill section, kept it in eco. I've got 88% of the battery left. I am 13 miles in with 88%. My aim is to get to Buxton, hopefully with around 45%, to get to Macclesfield with hopefully 25% plus, then leave it in eco. The route home that I've planned from Macclesfield is a fast one. Long, flat sections where I can build up speed, and I'm hoping, even if I only have 20% left in the bike, that 90% of the home leg from Macclesfield to home is at 17, 18, 19 miles an hour. That's the plan. Up to now, my legs have felt like blocks of lead. For me, morning rides, post, probably the biggest challenge. I'd rather ride at midnight. Seriously not a morning person. But when you've got a family, when you're going to be working all weekend, 12-hour shifts, you want to spend as much time with your family. My little boy's only 4, so hopefully today, that's another part of my plan, is I get home no later than 12, half 12, and we've still got the rest of the day to enjoy together. Join me later in the ride up the road. So I'm further down the A6 now. Not used any of the internal battery, still at 88%, almost 15 miles in. I'm saving the majority of my battery for today for maybe 45% of the battery for Long Hill, which is a 5-mile slog, a constant 3-4% from Whaley Bridge to Buxton. Sometimes it pitches up to 6-7%. It's always very windy. So that's mainly where today I will ask the motor to assist my effort. I'll be putting out 300 watts plus for the whole climb. It's supposed to be a warm day today. It's a very, very, very cloudy. There's a touch of fog. I won't be surprised if further into the ride, once I've been to Buxton for a touch of breakfast and a coffee, that by the time I get up on the Cat and Fiddle, we see a bit of sun. Whizzing along here at 20 miles an hour. After my 2 rides in Snowdonia last week, I wiped my chain. I put 1 small drop of the Silk Super Secret drip wax on each roller, rubbed it in. I don't wipe it afterwards. I just leave it. Any excess on the outside just sheds. Especially considering it was probably 4 or 5 days ago that I put that 1 drop on. So the carrier fluid is well evaporated now. And it just leaves a small amount of wax behind. Didn't want to do this ride today and start to hear the chain start to tap, get a little noisy. Listening to radio's podcast 606 talking about England's defeat to Argentina. Just not good enough. You can argue about tactics and England camping outside their own box, but at the end of the day, just not good enough. It's not elite mentality. Okay, I'll see you when I get to Whaley Bridge. really did think that the morning fog would start to dissipate by now. It's getting close to 9:30. I'm probably 4 miles from Buxton. Can't wait to get a cappuccino and a bite to eat. Quite cool this morning with the breeze. My Garmin says it's 15. Not when the breeze hits you in. Back in Manchester it's going to be 27 today. Highs of 22 or 23 in Buxton. Lower up in the hills. I've got my arm warmers on. Absolute godsend these. I set off the other night around 7 o'clock, it was 27 degrees. If you watch the video, I lose the sun on the way home because I got out a bit later than I expected, and my arms were freezing, and I never thought, because normally you put your arm warmers on and take them off when you get hot. Well, I didn't need them at 27 degrees. I should have put them in my bag. They would have been lovely to put on the way home. The only thing, but what I like about them is, you don't feel the wind on your arms. But strangely, even though they're dark, you don't feel your skin burning on a hot day either. I've got a whopping 65% left of the battery. I'm in level 2, but I'm making sure there's no stop-start, that there's consistent pressure on the pedals for me. And what I'm doing is I'm assisting the motor to assist me. Motors like to spin fast. So I'm climbing up Long Hill with anywhere between 14 and 17 miles an hour. We're doing 16 now, 16.3. I had a quick look. My power output since I left the house, it's just under 240 watt average. So I've certainly been working. I'm feeling the benefit of the lack of weight of the range extender, even though the range extender gives me more range. I'm finding on 50-60 mile loops, I'm getting home with 50-60% left in the bike. And then think about it, you're naturally going to save range from not having to carry the 1.1 kilos on your frame. That's how my mind works. And up to now it's proven to be correct. My average speed, even though from my house I've been climbing, is 15 miles an hour. I'm hoping by the time I get to Macclesfield that's closer to 17 average. We'll see. I like to have these little markers, these little targets to it. Keeps my brain focused and concentrated instead of just passively being a passenger on the ride. That's why I've got a load of external metrics on my Garmin, and on the Pulsar 1A I've got my speed, the range left in the battery percentage, and more importantly for me, my watts. On my Garmin I can see my heart rate and my cadence, so I can see everything I need to see. I was hoping I'd get to Buxton with at least 50% left in the bike. I'm on 61 currently. But round this corner, it's the last part of Long Hill Climb. It really does shoot up, so I'm expecting another couple of percent to come off. Yeah, we're down to 60 now. But if I get to my cafe break with 55%, I know I'm absolutely laughing. And that I may actually get to Macclesfield with a good 30%, and then it's the last 16, 17 miles home. This is the last part of the climb. Straight into a headwind as usual. It always seems to be the case here. It's very cooling. So this is not the end. Here's the end. So I'm building up a bit of speed, which means I'm going to knock it down to eco. I'm still climbing 2%. I've knocked it down to eco. Small amount of assistance, well none actually, because I'm doing 16.5. Here we go. This is the descent. I can't even see Buxton. On a nice clear day, you can look right down into the town and even beyond to the hills and see, is it King Solomon's Tower? I think that's what temple, King Solomon's Temple. Can't see anything. This should pick my average speed up a little. It's almost 9:40. So in Buxton for breakfast, we'll be 26 miles in by that point, and that's my halfway point of the ride. Today's going to be about 52 miles. absolute fucking idiots. Some absolute fucking stupid drivers. Overtaking when there's hardly any room. One guy went to overtake me and then had to hold back because he had a car coming towards him. I'm doing 30 odd miles an hour going downhill. You don't need to overtake. If you notice in that video, once I noticed one car tried to overtake and then held back, I moved from the left-hand side of the road right to the middle to take prime position. So I took away his option to try and overtake me dangerously. Because if he notices a car coming towards him, his reaction's going to pull left. And I could be parallel with him. Greek yogurt, some fruit, some cappuccino. And now I'm leaving Buxton. This is the beautiful Pavilion Gardens. I did say with the morning fog that I can see by the time I've been to Buxton and then I go up the Cat and Fiddle, we might actually see the sun breaking through. Well, there's small signs of it finally pushing through the morning haze. Quite a lot of fog this morning. So we're climbing as soon as we get out of Buxton. So Buxton's almost in a sort of like little bowl, and no matter which direction you head out of Buxton, you go uphill. So I'm going to be using some assistance out of the bike straight away. I might have to pull over. I think I've got a bit of sun cream on my cycle lens and I don't want my vision to be impaired. So I'm going to do that. The sun's come out finally. Just as we got onto the Cat and Fiddle road from Buxton. I'm leaving Buxton now. Looks like it's going to be busy. I just saw a sign saying Cat and Fiddle's going to be closed between the end of August, I think it was, or the end of July, till October for drainage works. Well, I just hope that doesn't include for bikes, because I use, maybe not always the whole of this road, but the Cat and Fiddle for a road cyclist in the Peak District is a major route. I'm sure cyclists will be able to get through. Usually we can. Straight into a headwind, whoopee-doo-dah. Luckily it's not too strong. I think it says around 10 miles an hour, gusts up to 15, 16. But on the plateaus of the Peak District, you're very exposed and the wind can really whip up. Whew. Never gets any easier, this climb. It's punchy. It's got to be about 1.5 miles long. Then you get a flat section at the top, and then it climbs back up to the pub, the Cat and Fiddle pub. Keeping my watts above 300 for the whole of this climb. I feel like I've put a lot into this ride already. 241 average watts. Coming up to 30 miles in. I stopped at the bottom and had my last gel. Should have brought an extra one. But I can always stop in Macclesfield. I think they've got a pound shop there. They might sell some gels. Either that or I'll get a Lucasade, because I feel like I'm putting a hell of a lot into this ride today. 242 watt average to this point. Putting out 5 watts per kilowatt here. Per kilogram, sorry. Got a stiff neck, probably because I slept downstairs. Whoa, this headwind's strong. I can see the Cat and Fiddle pub about a mile away. Maybe more actually. I'll be able to tell through distance. 28.5 here. Let's see what we're at when we get there. Because come to think of it, if I had to walk it, some walk, I've got less than 40% of the internal battery now. I've still got 20 odd miles to go home. But I'm confident, absolutely confident, it won't be a problem. What's going on here? Oh dear. Oh dear, I can see bits of animal all over the road. I think a sheep's been taken out at speed. God bless the poor little thing. Oh God. It was not a nice sight. I'm down to 39%. So normally, when I'm carrying 2 batteries, I'll be in level 2 here. I'm just going to keep it in level 1. I'm putting out nearly 400 watts, 15 miles an hour. But my legs are going to get a long, long break on the fast descent. fucking stupid cunt. Sorry about my language. Someone did a very dangerous overtake in a big van, half onto the other side of the road. That's what made the oncoming car beat the horn. Scared the living daylights out of me. So it's already been a mile and a half since I said I could see the pub. I said it was deceiving. I reckon it'd be close to 2 miles by the time I get there. I'm watching my bike battery dip quickly here and we're down to 35. I'm only in eco, but I've got a headwind and I'm going uphill. But after this, it's all downhill into Macclesfield, and then after that, I don't have a single hill on the way home, nothing significant. I'm going to try and pick up my average speed so that I barely use much power. I would just want to get home 50 odd miles, all on the internal battery, in the Peak District, and I think for a small battery, that's impressive. But that's also down to battery management and my own high output. Take a photo. There we go. So yeah, I have got voice controls of these glasses. Works very well. Wow. Nearly 500 watts just to grind up this into a headwind. Whew. Time for a breather. Stop recording. This is the fast descent now. This is where I'm hoping to pick my average speed up from 15 to close to 17 miles an hour. I don't think I've ever had a day when I've done this loop when my legs have felt so awful. So, on my last ride, I was on the Specialized Hybrid, and with all the equipment, it's over 18 kilograms. So pushing that 17, 18 miles an hour. Later on that night, running up the stairs, I could feel my legs were fatigued. So maybe I'm not fully recovered. Another thing, rushing to get ready this morning, I didn't have a chance to do my full stretching routine. But hopefully, this fast descent now, I don't stop spinning my legs I'm hoping that loosens my legs right up. So right now, I'm not having to push a lot of watts. Well, 250 watts downhill. But to me, that's keeping all of the oxygen flowing. And not having that resistance of going uphill into a headwind should mean my legs loosen up, clear lactate, and then the stopping Macclesfield and get a small snack, I'm hungry, and then blast home. So all that morning fog's now dissipated. Look at the sun on the hills. This is why I come out. This is what motivates me to get up 6:30 in the morning. My alarm was set for the same time that I get up weekends from my NHS job. But I tell you something, when my alarm goes off and I know I'm coming here, it does not take me quite as long to get up. And can you blame me? How good is this, people? How good is this? I feel blessed. I feel blessed to cycle this road, to be riding on such a great bike. I feel blessed to be sponsored by BleeCup, to film these rides, to be sent the equipment for free for testing and to keep, and to continue working alongside them for the last 18 months has been a joy. Every time I make a suggestion, they're very quick to answer. You have no idea how fun that felt. I love coming out wide and then cutting into the apex. What a great feeling. So yeah, I'm back to battery management now. I used level 2 going up Long Hill and up Cat and Fiddle Road, which means for the rest of the ride, it's going to be a mixture of no assist and a touch of eco when needed. I have no problem with that. Eco can help me accelerate from the lights, and as soon as I'm at 16.5, it's all me. And this bike is so easy on the flat to ride at 18 miles an hour plus. I'm doing 18 here uphill, 2%. 32 miles in, 243 watt average. Average speed has gone from 15 to 15.5. I'm still quite a way off the 17 miles an hour that I'm pushing for. I will get there, bear with me. I can see the small Lamelode reservoir down below. It's only small in the Goit Valley, or close to the Goit. There it is over there. You might not pick up on it with these wide-angled lens. New surface, but that normally means a bit of loose gravel. Actually, no, it's absolutely beautiful. Wow. I tell you what, if the whole Cat and Fiddle was laid like that, wow, your speed and your comfort. Well, there's another patch here. Very smooth. Not as smooth as that other patch. I think that's a bit older. It's turning into a beautiful day, people. I might have to top up my sun cream. I carry a miniature SPF 50 waterproof. Doing over 30 miles an hour here, another new section of tarmac. I think my Di2 had gone asleep there, and I had to tap it twice to get it to wake up. I think I'd been in the same gear for a while. Definitely don't need charging. I charged it before my trip to Snowdonia last week. Here we go, straight over 30 miles an hour again. cars are always so desperate to overtake you, even when you're doing over 30 miles an hour. Even onto oncoming traffic. Boggles my mind. I'm sorry, but I'm not giving them an inch. Sorry if all you can see is tarmac. I'm in the drops. I come back up to the hut. I know these roads like the back of my hand, so there's a tight right coming up, so I'm going to brake now. There we go. I'm slowing down. Here we go. Brake before the corner, not in the corner. It affects your steering. Make sure when you hit the corner you're already at the speed you want. I'm not saying I descend like Matthew Pidcock, but I'm certainly experienced. Very aero here. 31.5 miles an hour. I'm already over 16 miles an hour average. Don't get stopped by the traffic lights. I've still got another 2 miles downhill into Macclesfield. Oh, what's going on here? Right, eyes open wide, read the road. I'm safe for now. I'm taking prime position. Let's see if it picks up my speed on the camera. No. Usually it flashes me and says I'm doing over 30. Some traffic lights coming up. If you don't get stopped, you can keep some good momentum. But they've been on green since I was at the top of the road, so do not be surprised if I have to stop here. If not, the momentum's with me. Push, push, push. Here we go. I had to push some watts out there, some big watts, to push my speed over 30. There's a bumpy section here now. This is what was difficult when I was in Wales. Every time I went round the corner, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what level to be in. I didn't know how fast to take corners. But this loop is so familiar to me now. Where are you going? To be fair, the guy knew he'd messed up. He acknowledged it. At least he was a big boy and acknowledged his mistake. I accept that. I'm going down at 30 miles an hour and he's blocking my way. Did not know what was going on. I actually stopped in Macclesfield, and due to the lack of power in my legs today, I got myself a small kid sandwich from Greg's, a cat and a ribena and a pot of fruit. Really light food, but I like this last part of my ride to be at quite high intensity, and I didn't feel like I had it in me. I think the other night took more out of my legs than I anticipated. And I don't think riding the Specialized Turbo Vado SL uphills is the problem. It's pushing it above the cutoff and maintaining 70 and 80 miles an hour. Because the bike is so heavy. 17 kilo bike with a 1 kilogram main just under, so that's 17 kilo. I had 750ml bottle, so that's probably 800 odd grams. All my equipment. I have a frame bag with spares in, snacks. So 18 kilogram plus. Could also be a bit of residual fatigue from last week's rides in Wales. Who knows? Temperature just shot up now, it's over 25 degrees. I'm comfortable enough though. There's a lovely cool breeze, apparently it's coming from the northeast, so the breeze is cooler than it has been recently. So I'd say pretty perfect riding conditions really. No complaints from me. I think soon I'm going to turn my podcasts off because they're all talking about England getting beat. I'm going to put some 90s music on, some indie pop, lift my spirits and help me push high speeds home. I wish I'd brought another gel because I don't want any more food. I think what I need, I have electrolytes in my bottle, but I think what I really need is some carbohydrate drink. And then you could drip. Every time you have a sip, you have a small amount of carbs. So you sort of like drip feeding yourself. I don't know what it is today. The amount of roads that I've seen closed, roadways everywhere. It's usually the winter. Right, I'm gonna pull over. Some Shed 7 on. Turn the volume up. And hopefully my speed just picks up now. Got sick of hearing about England. I've had it all morning. It's depressing. I could deny, never realized, chasing rainbows all the time. All the time. I could deny. Slow down, Leon. It was like 450 watts down that round that corner then. That's not sustainable. I'm already 40 miles in. 2,670 feet of climbing. I could deny, realized, chasing rainbow all the time. I feel rejuvenated now. Get some tunes. Forget about that football. Enjoy the ride, enjoy the sun, enjoy the breeze. Because I won't see any sunshine or fresh air when I'm stuck indoors. 12.5 hours Saturday, 12.5 hours Sunday. Oh, gotta love a bit of Shed 7 going on. I never said never, ever. You took the words out of my mouth. It's the sea of sunshine. Now 400 watts and singing together. Can't do it, it's not sustainable. Whew. Time again. Almost 42 miles in. Bike battery's at 27%. I knew I could do this ride without the range extender. I knew it. Are you going for gold? Gold. Oh. Are you going for gold? I am. Are you going for gold? Oh. Another night, another town. It's time to burn this disco down. Weighs and long gauge, 20 odd miles an hour, 380 watts, buoyed by this amazing music. I knew I'd get another 20-30 watts out of me with some of my favourite tunes. Podcast was depressing me. Should be friends of mine. Wondering that you will be mine. I'll be flying forever. time to burn this disco down. Higher place, higher town. Sound, do you like it now? Burn this disco down. Whoa. Whoa. Come on, Leon. Town. Disco down. I'm so tired, but I don't give a shit. Tiredness is just a state of mind. Come on. Single disco around. Higher place, higher ground. Sounds, what do you like it now? Too close. I can feel the turbulence off that then. Fucking idiot. 4 miles left. This is Heald Green. Not far from Manchester Airport, really. I've maintained pretty solid nippy speed from Macclesfield. Some average speed's gone from 16 to 16.5 miles an hour average, which for a Peak District ride, barely touching the internal battery today, which I've still got, what, 20 odd % left of. It's the lowest I've ever took it. But it just shows, if you're fit and you know how to monitor your battery and only use it when you need it, you can go on big Peak District rides on this tiny little internal battery and leave your range extender at home. But I must admit, I think I do prefer to carry it. I thought today my average speed on the flats would be higher, and it has been decent, but not much different to what it is when I'm carrying the range extender. I think, I've got to be honest, on a different day I probably would. I knew within the first 10 miles today that today my legs just didn't feel great. That's not to say I haven't put in a tough shift, but just something was missing. Don't know what it was. The motivation was there, could be anything. If I was to analyse it, in the last week, this is my 4th tough ride, so maybe it's just one too many, but no regrets. Oh God, should I get on the path? See up the road. Heald Green and Gatley. I've got a steep hill coming up. At the bottom of Holly Hedge, going towards Bench Hill, from Wythenshawe. I'm just wondering, after 50 miles, have I got enough snap to get out of the saddle? And do you know what? Fuck it, I'm doing it. I don't care if I only reach 500 watts. If I can reach 600-700 after all these miles, then my training's working. We'll see. We'll see. Because I've had miles and miles of a steady speed, so that's your slow twitch fibres. So I'm hoping my fast twitch fibres, I've got some snap left. We'll soon find out. Right, let's get out of the saddle. I think I saw 800 watts. Yeah, boy. Fuck yes. Fuck yes. Pardon my French, that means a lot to me, that. I'm gone now. That's me gone. I'm hoping I get stopped at the traffic lights for a swig. Catch my breath. 50 miles done. Still got 19% of battery. I could easily get another 10 miles plus, easy. Phew. My word, that was some effort, that. I'm out of water. I'm out of puff. I'm only a couple of miles from home. This is Ben Chill. Got to be wary of these cars, people turning, people pulling out. I've noticed after 7 months, my bar tape's wearing. It's just the cheap Synchros bar tape that Scott put on their bikes. It's like tracing paper. And because these handlebars are a 42, because this is a 56 centimetre bike, my shoulders measure at 38. I don't think I would want a 38, maybe a 40 would be just right. But I don't know actually, maybe a 50. So I naturally don't hold on to the hoods because I feel like my elbows come out. I do hold on to the hubs with my fingers, can you see? I rest the palms of my hands on the bike here, because that brings my shoulders at the correct width out here. For me, that's too wide. 42s were too wide for me. But it's an integrated bar, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some gravel tape with gel, so that when the pads on my handrest here, I will get the comfort. It will also be more bad wearing. BBB do an amazing gravel tape. I think it's the BHT 16. Amazing bar tape. The only issue is tucking it in with your bar plugs. I had to cut slits so that I split it into 4 pieces and tucked them in individually. It was a faff, but I managed it. Whew. I've just glanced and my average watts for this ride is 241. If that sticks, I'd be telling you now, on a 50-mile ride, that's my highest ever. So it's not my highest ever average speed on that loop, which has previously been 17. But in terms of watts put out, I've had a lot of headwinds today. So in terms of effort today, this has been my hardest ride on that loop. Average speed doesn't tell the full story. That could have been a day with perfect conditions. Me seeing my highest average watts on that loop shows me that it might not be my fastest on the loop, but in terms of effort put in, by far today this is the most I've done. So something to be proud of. It's also an indication of where my fitness is. It's in a good place. The beginning of the year was wet. Took a long time for conditions to improve. So I've probably not got as many miles on the clock this year as I would have liked. But my fitness, I'm very, very happy with. I just wish I had an extra 500-600 miles on the clock for the year. But you never know. We might get an Indian summer. I might be able to get some amazing rides in till late October. Then I'll transition to the Turbo Vado from my winter training. Right, that's me done, people. Over 50 miles, 241 watts average, average speed of 16.5. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. If you do, thank you so much. Bye.